Tonight, as you may know, Democrat Al Franken won the Minnesota Senate race by just 312 votes last November. But here's something interesting. The embattled ACORN organization registered about 43,000 voters in Minnesota, and that is raising some suspicion of fraud. Governor Tim Pawlenty has already launched an investigation into the use of state funds by ACORN, but now some, including Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, are calling for a full audit of the group's activities in the state. Joining us from Washington is Congresswoman Bachmann, a Republican. Okay, congratulations to the Twins, by the way. That was an unbelievable game last night, and they're playing the Yanks tonight, and they have a lot of grit, a lot of heart. Okay, Al Franken. Now, here's my problem.
And the Vikings, too.
Well, we'll deal with the Vikings another time. Here's my problem with Franken. That vote swung all different crazy ways, all right? ACORN obviously under scrutiny for fraud in a lot of states. Now, it's not fair to say that ACORN did fraud, committed fraud in Minnesota, your state. But for 43,000 new voters, almost 100% of them going Democrat, you got to take a look at it on a 312 margin, do you not?
Well, you do, especially in light of the fact that Senator Norm Coleman actually came out with more votes at the beginning prior to the recount, and that's why I think it's very important. You said it yourself, Bill, 43,000 new registrations under ACORN, and in state after state, night after night, day after day, there were phony registrations that were put in,
I think the governor has to look at all 43,000 of those registrations, see if Mickey Mouse is on there, see if Donald Duck is on there, and who they voted for. Because if you don't, then, again, this may not be fair, and I don't have any hard evidence, but if you don't do it, there's always going to be that cloud that ACORN threw that election of Franken.
Well, and this isn't the first election in Minnesota where ACORN was heavily involved. They were also heavily involved in the 2006 race as well.
Okay. Now, you called for a full audit. What does that mean? What do you want to see done in your state?
ACORN has received taxpayer money in Minnesota, and I want to make sure that there's a full review and audit of how that money was spent and where it went, because we know that ACORN, Bill, is an umbrella organization for 361 different organizations. Some are tax exempt, some aren't. But the real question is, was any taxpayer money interchangeably used between these organizations so that it may have been used for election purposes, which would be clearly illegal?
Okay, so you want to audit, you want their books, you want to audit, you want to see where all the money went. That's what we're calling for. A federal audit also is underway in Louisiana with the state down there. Now, you're a pretty interesting politician, Congresswoman. You are second to Sarah Palin in far-left angst. You know, Sarah Palin leads the league, no doubt. But they're after you now. We hear it all the time, Michelle Bachmann, she's this, she's that. How did you get into that wheelhouse?
You know, it's an interesting phenomenon. I think it happened with a competing cable network that took an interest in me, and it's only grown. And so now it's almost like I have personal stalkers, only they have TV shows. So it's kind of an interesting phenomenon.
Does it bother you that NBC News is using its cable arm to make your life difficult? Does that bother you?
You know, not really. I grew up with 3 brothers, and that's the best preparation for politics anyone can possibly have. I'm just here doing my job, working on behalf of the people in Minnesota, and it's great just to be able to get my message out. And if I get under people's skin, so be it.
Okay, but why? Why are you getting under their skin? I mean, you seem like a nice woman. We had you at the Correspondents' Dinner as a guest at our table. You didn't throw spaghetti on anyone. You didn't use any bad language.
I made nice with Al Sharpton.
Yeah. You were perfectly fine. Say, I'm not getting, to me, you're a conservative Republican from a Midwestern, upper Midwestern state who speaks her mind articulately, does her job. Why are they coming after you? I don't get it.
It may bother them that conservative women are happy and don't need government in order to be successful in life. I have a great husband, great kids. I had a great career as a federal tax attorney, and I don't need government to be successful. And it seems like they have a stereotype for women, and I don't fit in their stereotype.
Do you think, and this is an off-the-wall question, and I'm telling the audience that it's just something that has occurred to me. Both you and Sarah Palin are good-looking women. I mean, you're attractive, young, relatively young women who other women can identify with. You're a mom, your wife, you had a private sector job. I think that's it. I think that the success of Sarah Palin and Michelle Bachmann drive the far left crazy because you don't fit, they don't like what you believe in, but but you can attract others to listen to you. I think that's what's going on.
Well, and if we pull away votes from them, especially in a block, a woman block, a middle America woman block, that makes them very upset about that. And so consequently, I'm public enemy number one right now for Speaker Pelosi.
All right. Michelle Bachmann, everyone. Thank you, Congresswoman.